Hi and welcome to the Craft Channel in association with Craft Beautiful magazine. I'm here today to talk to you about the free stencil set that's on the November issue of the magazine, out on sale the 16th of October. There's over 60 designs, some of them Christmas, some of them mainly celebration for any time of year. And it's really simple to use a stencil. I'm just going to show you with an ordinary ink pad on some pattern paper. What you do need is a stencil brush. A stencil brush is quite a stiff brush with a flat top. So if you place your stencil where you want it on paper, you don't really need to tack it down with tape. If it's a larger design, I would advise that you use tape, but your hands will be fine. So if you just tamp your stencil brush onto your ink and then jump up and down on the stencil with it, and I'll do this very, very quickly. The more you tamp down into the gaps between the stencil, the darker the colour will appear. So I'm just going to do this flower so that it's got like a turquoisey blue centre to the petals, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change colour to an aubergine and add a different colour to the outside here. Let's just do this roughly. If you just do it lightly around the whole of the stencil, any teal colour ink that's remaining on the brush will get distributed around the whole of the flower, and then you can really concentrate on that aubergine colour. The more ink you apply, the more it will cover up the background pattern of the paper. If you want it so that it appears that you can still see some of the background in the paper, then you don't need to add too much colour at all. But just make sure before you lift the stencil completely, if you hold it down and just lift it up, just check that you've got the whole design in there. I'm just going to add a bit more colour to the centre of that flower, like that, and then put it away. So it's really easy to stencil. You could try it with a cotton bud. I would recommend really that you invest in a stencil brush because it's much, much quicker and you get a much crisper image. And then what you can do is you can make a selection of cards like these ones here. This is just white ink on red card with a snowflake design, and the tags here, which are blue ink on a pattern paper, and then we've added some gemstones. But you don't have to just use ink. What you can also do is you can use ink on felt for our dove card here, and then we just blanket stitch around the outside of it. You can also get like a three-dimensional paste. This snow card here has been done with like a three-dimensional paste glue, and then there's fine glitter gone on the top of that, so it's a really tactile tag. And you can also use your stencils just to draw around on the back of a piece of card and then cut out the design so you've got the shape as a die cutting almost without the die cutting machine. And over here we've got one which uses a metallic stencil paste, and that's the paste. I would recommend that you tape down your stencil to use this to make sure it doesn't move, but you tape it down on the card, you apply the paste with a flat palette knife and you spread it over the stencil, and then you remove the stencil while it's still wet and leave it to dry, and you've got a lovely raised image on there. So as I say, there's 60 designs in the pack. It comes free with the November issue of Craft Beautiful magazine, and that is out on sale on the 16th of October. So go out and grab a copy, enjoy making your cards and gift tags with the stencils, and we'll see you next time.